Today you join me as we face our final match day in the Champions League phase, and it's a must win. Welcome to episode 88 of Making Chelsea Stand Proud. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you two games. First up, our Champions League phase match day 8, last game of the league phase, and it's a must win if we are to qualify and go through to the last 16 automatically. Otherwise we've got a playoff to contend with, and then we have a Premier League game, match day 25 against Norwich City. Don't forget, if you enjoy this episode, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. All helps here on the channel. Thank you very much. Yes, since you were last with us, I don't think we've done anything actually since you were last with us. That two games that we won. Freiburg, which gave us a reasonable position in the Champions League phase. It'd been nice, as I said, to have had it all done and dusted before the last game, but it does come down to that last game of the league phase in order to qualify. And then, of course, a good 2-0 win, which we didn't really expect, against Manchester City. One of those goals from Gabriel Barbosa, who came on against Freiburg, got us the win, and then produced the goods in the game against Manchester City, which, if you remember from the end of the last episode, gave us a 9-point lead at the top of the table. 63 points from Manchester City's 54. Then Liverpool on 49. There have been some games played. Arsenal moving up into 4th place now on 41 points. And they have a game in hand, which means that could potentially be 44. And then only 5 points behind Liverpool in 3rd place. But there's quite a chasm down then to the likes of Manchester United and Southampton, and Newcastle taking up the last of the European places. Brentford just outside. They've fallen away a little bit, as you'll see from their form here over on the right-hand side. Norwich, who we're playing in our second game of the episode, Aston Villa and West Ham, still down in the relegation zone. West Ham look as if they're closing the gap up a little bit. 11 points adrift now of Fulham in 17th place. Transfers, I think we'd sorted the transfers out when you were last with us. Nothing else has happened. Josko Gervaldo and Fratisi coming in. Of course, Declan Rice going out to Bayern Munich. And the only other thing is Jude Sunset-Bill. He's signed a contract with us. He's now with us until 2030. So a new contract for him. And we will try and integrate him into the side. Not finding a way in for him this season, which is why we've let him go out on loan for the second half of the season, and he's gone to Wolfsburg of all places. Right, what else can we tell you? I don't think there is a great deal else we can tell you. I think with the hype and stuff that's going on, we need to focus on this Champions League phase match against Stuttgart. Liverpool, Fiorentina, Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, Juventus and Chelsea, Celtic, are all in the last 8. There are 2 spaces left, Barcelona and Monaco in those spaces at the moment. And if we're going to get there, we need to rely on Barcelona, Monaco and Wolves not winning this round of games. If they do, despite whatever happens here in Stuttgart, against Stuttgart, it won't make a blind bit of difference, to be honest. All we can do is win and then just hope that the results go our way. It's going to be a bit of either way, we could end up with a draw after this game for the knockout stages, for the playoff places. To get through to the knockout stages. Stuttgart, who would play today, down in 25th, they're not out of it. They could still get into these 24 or the remaining 16 places. So they'll be wanting to get a result as well, and we'll obviously be mindful of that. Right, let's get on with it and have a look at the team that will face Stuttgart. And this is the team that will face Stuttgart in this UEFA Champions League phase match day 8. Maganan is in goal. Chilwell, Timber, Fofana and James complete the defensive line. Dewsbury Hall and Kovacic are in front of them. Koeman is back after his little... I'm not sure what he had. What did he have wrong with him, Koeman? He's been out. Let's just check in the old medical... thingy. Yeah, we can't we report medical? No, I've lost it. There we go, medical report, that's what we want. Yeah, he's been out with a pulled calf muscle, that's what he's been out with, and he's now back. He was out for 3 weeks with that, but he is back. Mount in the attacking playmaker role. Barbosa gets his second start in a row because he's really hit a rich vein of form, and we can't knock that. He's got 2 goals in 2 games, and up front Kai Havertz leads the attack. We're just deciding what is his preferred position. It's difficult to tell. I'm going to set him as an advanced forward because that gives him a green line. If you do that, get rid of the green line. Yeah, so he's preferred as an advanced forward with Mason Mount behind him. Right, the bench looks like this. Carnasechi, Cucurella, Fernandez, Sterling, Garcia, Otavio, Savic, Koulibaly, Tell, Broja and Andrin. We are missing a player off of the bench, I notice. It's probably because we can't bring our new 2 players in yet. We can't register them for the Champions League, which is really annoying. Must be something in that you can't do it until after this particular round of games is finished. We're going to put Murray Campbell on the bench as our final substitute, give him a chance to take in the atmosphere and all the rest of it. That's the team then that will feature against Stuttgart. And we have the Champions League screens at home, of course, today. 4-2-3-1, the formation. Stuttgart playing in their white shirts. They're playing a 4-4-2. And as the teams come out, you will get confirmation of the teams. First highlight, 10 minutes in, it's a corner. Mount with a corner. It's headed clear. Dewsbury Hall to Kovacic. Kovacic to Reece James. Reece James had a shot, but it was going wide. Seaman with a goal kick. Timber underneath that. And Yaron Timber playing in central defence today. Through ball. Fofana is there. Brings it down nicely to Magnan, who passed it out to Timber. Back to Fofana. Fofana forward. Mason Mount goes out wide looking for Koeman. We've missed him out there. Koeman crosses it in and Havertz just diverts it into the back of the net. 35th goal of the season. And we're only halfway through the season, really. And his 35th goal of the season puts us in front on 17 minutes. Koeman, and we've missed this crossing. And just the barest of touches from Havertz. Maganan with a goal kick. Fofana. James. Mount over the top to Havertz. Havertz around the goalkeeper, but the defender's doing a good job. Chilwell tidies up. Chilwell with a throw in. Koeman back to Chilwell. Chilwell finds Timber. Timber. Kovacic out wide to Koeman. Koeman inside to Dewsbury Hall, who does a lovely pass, and that man Havertz again. Question of offside this time though. Let's see, his 36th goal of the season. If it's confirmed, it's disallowed. He was offside. Lovely footwork by Dewsbury Hall, though. We'll see it here. Look, lovely inside. There's not much in it. And there we go. That is half time. And we've had 12 shots, 3 on target, 2.34 on the XG. 59% of the possession. They've had 3 shots, just 1 on target. 0.21, 41% of the possession. Dare I look at this? We're in 10th. So what is happening in the other scores? It would suggest Monaco are beating Freiburg by 2-1. Celtic and Barcelona are the other 2 sides. Celtic, I think, are already through. Barcelona must be winning as well. And that's what we're up against. Barcelona are beating Celtic by 3-0. So that's almost a definite. That is confirmed. Wolves are beating young boys of Bern. So it's going to be tight, and we've got all we can do. We're winning. That's the thing at the moment. I need to get another goal to make sure we've got a little bit of a cushion. But we're relying on Wolves and Monaco both conceding goals in time. In fact, they both got a better goal difference than us, so that won't make any difference whatsoever. We need them both to lose, realistically. That's a bit mean, isn't it? I think we're going to be fair, I think as it stands, we're going to end up in the draw for the playoffs. And in order to protect Mason Mount, we have an enforced change at half-time. Matthias Tell is on for Mason Mount. Havertz dropping down into that attacking playmaker role, and Matthias Tell leading the attack up front. First highlight of the second half comes on the hour mark. Fofana, Kovacic, Havertz, who's playing that attacking playmaker role now. Timber, Chilwell, finds Koeman. Koeman crosses it in. Matthias Tell heads it down. And who was that? Just fired it wide. It was Havertz, just firing wide. Chilwell with a throw-in on this near side. Barbosa, who's on the opposite wing to where he would normally be. But we've lost the ball. And they come forward. But Chilwell coming back, defending very well. Dewsbury Hall doing his job. Timber, Kovacic. Kovacic goes out wide, finds James. James brings it down. Can he get this ball into the area? No, he's going to cut it back for Kovacic. Kovacic finds Barbosa. Barbosa to Havertz. Havertz to Dewsbury Hall. Chilwell. Reece James. Barbosa. Out to James. Cross it in. It's Chilwell's over the top again. I was going to look at what we need to do, but the highlights continue to come. Havertz, Koeman finds Matthias Tell, and Matthias Tell, I think, was offside. And a free kick now for Stuttgart. Forsberg crosses in. It's headed clear. I think it might have been Havertz actually clearing it. It's crossed in. Oh, it's come off the woodwork. Oh, we've been lucky. We need to sort this out, boys and girls. Oh, it's going to have another go. It's gone over the top, though. And still, I can't do anything. The highlights are coming thick and fast. It's Reece James, a long throw. Barbosa is into the area. He's had a go. He's come off the woodwork. And Koeman couldn't get it away. Well, with 71 minutes on the clock, I'm reluctant to make too many changes. But Kovacic is coming off. We've brought on Enzo Fernandez in that midfield. And we're just going to hang on for just a little bit longer just to see. Might bring some fresh legs on, see if we can get a second goal around about the 80-minute mark. We have a corner now. Chilwell with the corner. Swung in. And Wesley Fofana gets his 4th goal of the season. And we go 2 up. We can drop back to positive now, I think. We haven't seen a goal from a corner for a while. But Fofana getting up nicely to nod that one in. And with 78 minutes on the clock, making the rest of our changes, we have taken off Reece James and brought on Eric Garcia. Usual change, Ben Chilwell comes off and Mark Cucurella comes on for him. And we've also taken off Kingsley Coman, who's coming back from injury. Had a good game, but it's a shame he hasn't scored. But we brought Raheem Sterling on in place of Koeman. That's our 5 changes. Monaco with a throw-in. Timber heading that clear, but it's not gone clear, and they've got one back. 2 minutes into injury, 3 minutes into injury time, and we've obliged by letting them get a goal back. Oh, it took a deflection off of the defender as well. Who was it? It was Fofana. No more highlights. It's all over, and it is playoffs, boys and girls. The Barcelona were really doing a good job on the team. I think it was Celtic they were playing, and it also looked like Monaco were having a good win against Freiburg. So it's definitely going to be playoff draw coming up, I would have thought. 28 shots, 7 on target. Not really good enough, is it? 3.69. All those shots really should have had more on target. 3.69 on the XG, 59% possession. They had 8 shots, just the 2 on target, one of which was a goal, a 0.78 and 41% of the possession. It's a win, but that's all you can say. And here is confirmation of the table. Liverpool winning, I say winning, but they're in first place, 24 points. Full points, maximum points, 3-8 to 24, as is Paris Saint-Germain, then Real Madrid, Juventus, Fiorentina, Barcelona, Celtic and Monaco. In fact, Freiburg did come back in that game, but a bit late, 3-2 in the end, with Barcelona beating Celtic 4-0. And yeah, that's how that has ended up. But Bayern Munich, interestingly, are in the playoffs. Let's hope we don't get them. Oh, so they are the teams that will go through automatically and have the advantage of the home leg in the second leg of their ties, and the teams that will go into the playoffs: Wolves, Chelsea, Inter, Leicester, Everton, Bayern Munich, Hellas Verona, Rangers, RB Leipzig, Real Sociedad, Manchester City, Milan, Red Bull Salzburg, Athletic Club Bilbao, Benfica, Leningrad and Ajax, Freiburg, Stuttgart. Young boys and all those miss out. Well, the good news is Mason Mount's injury is only a 2 or 3 day injury. That's good. We'll do the thing, qualify for the knockout playoff round, and we'll see how that all pans out very, very shortly. And we'll come straight back for the draw for that knockout playoff round. Well, I have to admit, I thought the draw was coming up sooner than it is. It appears it is coming up tomorrow, the 2nd of February. We're on the 1st of February now, but we have the Sunday games on the 1st of February. The Saturday games have been played, and they have been played. And a little bit of extra news: Manchester City only managing a draw against Everton, which means that if we could win against Norwich today, we would open up that gap to something like 11 points over Manchester City. And surely, unless we go completely gaga, that is enough to confirm and retain the Premier League title, I feel sure. At this stage of the competition, Liverpool winning again, but they are some 11 points behind us as it stands, and if we were to win that game, they would be back up to 14 points behind us, so they're not catching us anytime soon, hopefully. West Ham again losing to Brentford 3-1. Other scorelines: Brighton 0, Wolves 0, Leeds 1, as we said, Liverpool 2, and Leicester 2, Aston Villa 1. So that's how it all stands. We are going to face then Norwich without the draw for the Champions League knockout phase, and you'll see they come in here fairly quick. So I'm not quite sure what the next episode was going to be, but it is going to be now. It's going to be the FA Cup third round and the first leg of the Champions League knockout phase, and then of course we'll come back for the Champions League knockout phase second leg, and Leeds United, I think, is probably how that's going to play. Southampton sandwiched in between offline. Right, Norwich, we have played them 5 times today. Beat them all 5 times, both home and away. So a trip to Carrow Road shouldn't faze us too much, albeit we don't seem to be so confident at Carrow Road as we do at Stamford Bridge. Let's hope that we don't slip up today. A win is needed to make sure we open that gap a bit wider at the top of the table. And this is the team that will face Norwich at Carrow Road. It's Maganan in goal, Chilwell, Garvadol, Timber and James, our defensive line. Garvadol, I think, makes his debut. Dewsbury, yes, I think he does. Dewsbury Hall in a central midfield alongside Fratesi, who again makes his debut. I think he's already played a game, hasn't he? He came on as a substitute, but makes his first start. Koeman, who had a good game at Stuttgart, on the left. Tavio is the shadow striker in the middle, resting Mason Mount, who picked up a knock in the last game. Raheem Sterling. Why have I got Raheem Sterling on the right here? I'm going to put Barbosa in there. Or am I going to play Barbosa up front? I'm going to play Barbosa up front, actually. So we'll leave Sterling on the right. Barbosa leads the attack. Carnasechi, Cucurella, Fernandez, Savic, Fofana, Kovacic, Tell, Koulibaly and Havertz, who is being rested. He's unlikely to come on unless we really desperately need him to. That's what the bench looks like. And this is how the two sides match up. Dean Smith, manager at Carrow Road at Norwich City. Their team is Serrano, McCallum, Kucha, Danny Luck, Aaron's across the defence, Shooten as the defensive midfielder, Vasalidas and Beriscani, the centre of midfield. Rowe and Bamford are the wide players sitting behind Poulsen. We have Trafford, Johnson, Dendonka, Telelis as Stengs, Obamadale, Christie, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Mamouche are all on the bench. Confirmation of the two teams for you. First highlight, 12 minutes in. It's a James throw-in and Norwich winning that ball. James again, though. Dewsbury Hall, who's picked up a yellow card. Koeman and Barbosa does a Havertz type thing by sweeping it. Koeman pushes it in and Barbosa's been sitting there watching Kai Havertz, I think, and just swept that home. There we go. And Norwich City with a goal kick. Come forward, but that was a bit short. And Fratesi winning that ball in midfield. Dewsbury Hall tries to get it through. Didn't get it where he wanted it, I don't think. And ball moving around nicely. Oh, well one. Fratesi's there again. Fratesi has a shot, but it's a bit wide. And with half-time, that goal from Barbosa on 13 minutes, giving us a slender lead, but it's a lead all the same. 10 shots, 5 on target, 50%, 1.17 on the old XG, 57% of the possession. It's not been a bad first half. Kingsley Koeman performing well again. And we need to keep up the pressure and get more goals in the second half. They've had 3 shots, 1 on target, 0.16, 43% of the possession. More of the same second half, please. First highlight of this second half. 56 minutes on the clock, and we're winning that ball. Dewsbury, Fratesi. Oh, just wide. Not far off. We have a corner. Chilwell with a corner. Swung in, but goalkeeper comes out and claims it. Highlight will continue, I'm guessing. Does indeed. A long ball fired up front. Chilwell heads it down to Fratesi, who's been very good so far from what we've seen of him. James. It's Timber. Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall through to Sterling. Sterling puts it away. And a question of whether he was offside or not. He looked a bit offside, to be fair. This may not stand. It is disallowed. He was offside. Would have been his 7th goal of the season. Just gone a little bit too early. And with 66 minutes on the clock, making 3 changes, Otavio comes off, Fernandez comes on for him, and we've put him on as an Enganche. We've taken off Dewsbury Hall, who was on a yellow card, and thought best to save any danger there. Milenkovic, Savic on for him, and we have moved Govidel out to the left-hand side in the wing-back position, which is semi his favoured position, and taken off Ben Chilwell, who was tiring and not having a good game. Fofana comes on for him, but takes up a central position. Barbosa with the corner, swung in. Savic hadn't it back down, but no, Guardo. James has a run. His way through was cut off. Timber crosses it in, and not quite sure what happened there. Didn't happen, whatever it was. James back to Timber, and the highlight's still alive. Savic out to Koeman, and Barbosa gets his second of the game, his 5th of the season, and it's 2-0 on 76 minutes. Almost a carbon copy of the goal earlier in the game. Savic, lovely ball out to Koeman. Koeman just first time, and Barbosa first time sides it in the net. Question of offside. But no, he was behind him. And we've made our final 2 changes. And we have taken off... who have we taken off? We've taken off Koeman, who was getting tired. He's got another 9. So his form at the moment, he's absolutely stonking. Kingsley Koeman comes off. Matej Tell comes on to replace him. And we've also taken off Reece James, who was getting tired out on that right-hand side. Timber moves out to the right. Koulibaly comes on in central defence. Throw-in on this near side. Fofana with the throw-in. Barbosa. Fofana. Savic. Off the inside of the post. And that was the last highlight. Barbosa getting a brace in this game, and Kingsley Koeman having a splendid performance. Barbosa getting the 2 goals from Koeman, almost carbon copies of one another, and it's another good performance. 22 shots, 7 of which are on target. Only a third of those shots on target, which again is a bit concerning. 2.70, 58% of the possession. Norwich had 6 shots, just 1 on target, 0.32, 42% of the possession. We will come back and have a look at the table, but I also suspect we'll have a draw for the Champions League coming very shortly as well. And the win means that we go 11 points clear of Manchester City in second place. We're top on 66, Manchester City second on 55. Manchester United winning again. They still have 2 games in hand, are on 43 points. That means that they will be on 49, which means they are 17 points behind us. Is that right? Something like that. So they're a fair way off as well. They would be staying 4th, tucked in behind Liverpool, even if they were to win their 2 games in hand. Norwich are dropping into the relegation zone if they weren't already there. Aston Villa and West Ham also in there along with them, and Fulham just outside. I think they were actually there, so they've not improved any, and that gap now 12 points from West Ham at the bottom of the table. The others still in touching distance. Well as it being the transfer deadline day, and we're not sure whether we're going to be bringing in anybody else. We do have a couple of irons in the fire. We'll see what happens with that. But as it currently stands, we come back for the draw for the Champions League knockout playoff round. Want to avoid Bayern Munich, holders currently, and also favourites to win it again. But they're in the playoffs, the same as us. What does that mean? I don't know. But what we'll do is we will have the draw for the knockout playoff round of the Champions League. And you come back for that draw. And 2 pots. Pot 1, 16 teams. And I'm thinking... And pot 2, 16 teams. Is that... Oh, no, 8 teams in each pot. Right, okay, I'm with you. I'm not quite sure why they're separated out. There must be a reason for it. We are in pot 2. Now, I think that means that we can't play Bayern Munich. I'm not sure whether it separated the teams that were top of the next 8, and then the second 8 are in the second pot. I don't know. It will become apparent. We will check this out at some point or other. I think that's how it's probably worked, actually, is the 9 down, the next 8 are in pot 1. Pot 2, and then the teams that were down to 24 are in pot 1. So they're going to be drawn first, which means they will be at home in the first leg, and those teams that were nearer the top will be at home in the second leg. So a benefit from being in the top half of the 16 below the top 8, if that makes sense. Let's get underway. Real Sociedad are out first. They will play Everton. So Real Sociedad versus Everton. Milan, we've already played them, will play Bayern Munich. Athletic Club Bilbao will play Wolves. Red Bull Salzburg will play Rangers. Manchester City still in that pot. Ledegratz will play Chelsea. So we've got Ledegratz Razgrad. We've missed Manchester City, thankfully. Benfica will play Hellas Verona, which means that Manchester City RB Leipzig will play Leicester. And it must be Manchester City. It is. Will play Inter. And that is how the draw is. Let's have a look. Real Sociedad versus Everton. Milan versus Bayern Munich. Athletic Club versus Wolves. Salzburg versus Rangers. Ladegratz versus Chelsea. Benfica versus Hellas Verona. RB Leipzig versus Leicester. And Manchester City will play Inter. So that takes us through to the end of the episode then. And we know now, in fact, Southampton isn't sandwiched between there anymore. So that, I think, could be an episode on its own. We'll come back for Wolves and Southampton in the next episode, and then it'll be the 2 Ledegratz games. It will be a Champions League knockout special, if you like, to see if we can get through to the knockout stages of the competition, the full knockout, the last 16, as it were. Right, we continue our quest. We'll be back. We have an FA Cup 3rd round replay to play against Wolves. And I think, actually, might even have 2 FA Cup matches in the next one. It's got a distinct feeling that the 4th round is on the 7th of February, in which case it will be Wolves and whoever we have. So it could change the next episode. Keep your eye out for that one. And we'll see how it goes. Right. With that all said and done, that's the end of the episode. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That keeps you up to date with all future episodes of Chelsea Stands Proud, our other series, To Be a Legend, and, of course, new series as they are released. If you want to keep up to date what's happening on the channel in general, the best way of doing it is to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideToo. Thank you for watching. New episodes of Making Chelsea Stand Proud are currently released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15 p.m. I was a bit previous in thanking you, but I do thank you again for watching and hope to see you for the next episode. It'll be episode 89. It's out on Tuesday. Till then, have yourself a good weekend. Bye-bye.